The strange and bizarre things unique to Mexico will shock you to your core. 2. Welcome back, everyone, to Enigmatic Echoes. 3. When it comes to Mexico, people often immediately think of its sunny emerald beaches. 4. Ancient ruins steeped in the legacy of the Maya and Aztec civilizations, or Mexican salad. 5. Which might seem Western but actually originated right in this Central American country. 6. But wait, that's just the tip of the iceberg. 7. Because today, I'll take you deeper, not underground. 8. But into a world of things so bizarre they're hard to believe, things you might never have imagined. 9. Could exist in a country like Mexico. 10. Have you ever heard of the smallest volcano on the planet? 11. Or known that there was once a village here swallowed by a volcano in just a few days. 12. And those are just 2 of the 7 strange and fascinating things I'm about to share right now. 13. So, if you're looking for a new adventure. 14. No need to book a plane ticket. Just stay with Enigmatic Echoes in today's video. LLC that Mexico ISN. 16. What are you waiting for? Hit play, brace yourself. 17. And join me in exploring the 8 strangest and most bizarre things in Mexico. 18. Guarantee, after watching, you'll just want to pack your bag. 19. Now, let's get started right. 20. The dead even have their own New Year's celebration. 21. In Vietnam, we have Lunar New Year, Healing Fest. 22. And even the mid-year festival to remember the departed. 23. But in Mexico, they take it to another level. The dead even have their own New Year's celebration. 24. Literally, the souls also return home to celebrate like the living. 25. This unusual but incredibly unique tradition is called Dia de los Muertos. 26. Roughly translated as Day of the Dead. 27. Sounds a bit spooky. 28. But don't be scared just yet, because this celebration is extreme. 29. Full of color, and especially. 30. Exactly the kind of reunion atmosphere everyone looks forward to. 31. Mexicans have a very profound belief like this. 32. Death is not the end point. 33. When someone leaves this world, only the body fades away. 34. While the soul remains, looking on and watching over their loved ones. 35. And so, every year, on the first 2 days of November. 36. The living open their doors to welcome the departed back. 37. Reuniting with family in a sacred yet equally festive occasion. 38. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. 39. But in Mexico, this is an indispensable part of the people's spiritual life. 40. When this day comes, everyone cleans their houses thoroughly. 41. Especially the worship area. 42. Ancestral altars are adorned brilliantly with bright gold and marigold. 43. Photos of deceased loved ones, candles. 44. And many favorite dishes of the guests from the other world. 45. So, what do they offer to the dead? 46. It's not just about putting out fruit and 47. Here, offerings are divided. 48. One for children with toys, candies, and 49. And one for adults with traditional dish. 50. Plus a bottle of traditional tequila. They believe that departed loved ones will return. Retaste the flavors of home and know they have never been forgotten. But not only that, the festive atmosphere also buzzes in the streets. All the alleys and avenues are decorated with lanterns, along with colorful skull figures. Of course, not to scare, but to welcome. And most notably, the skull candy cannot be overlooked. Yes, skulls made of candy. But they're not scary at all. On the contrary, they're vibrant, cute, and extremely sweet. These skull candies symbolize eternal life, used for worship, gifting, and as presents for children. Every child is fascinated by this special candy, not only because of its sweet flavor, but also because it is tied to warm memories of family and ancestors. What makes Mexico's Day of the Dead more special than any other memorial is how they combine the sacred element with the joy of living. They do not weep or mope, but laugh, talk, sing, eat, and recount old memories with departed loved ones, as if they were sitting right beside them. In Mexican culture, the dead never truly leave. They are only temporarily absent and return each year to reunite like a homecoming for Tet. And the living never forget. They preserve memories with all their love. With candlelight, the aroma of food, old stories, and even the sweet skull candies named memory. So it is said, Tet is not only for the living, But sometimes it is the departed who give us more reason to love each other. On special days like these, my friends. A quite interesting and meaningful custom, isn't it? Soccer field on a volcano crater. Have you ever imagined yourself running on a soccer field with an entire volcano crater beneath you? It sounds like something only in Hollywood movies. Yet it is 100% real in life. And it's located right in Mexico, in the suburbs of Mexico City. Here, there is a unique soccer field in the world, sitting right on the crater of Tiotihuacan volcano, 2,700 meters above sea level. Yes, not 270 meters, but 2,700 meters. Meaning it's even higher than many mountain peaks in Vietnam. And the strange thing is, even though it's among the clouds, covered in fog year-round, every weekend, this place echoes with the cheers of soccer enthusiasts. The locals don't choose bars or cafes as weekend meeting spots. They meet on the volcano crater to play soccer. Truly the essence of limitless passion. To reach this field, you must traverse a trail as long as 18 kilometers. Winding, rugged, with dense forest on both sides. No vehicles, no concrete. With just their feet, determination, and a passion for the ball. It's not just a journey into football, but also like a real mountain climb. And not climbing just for fun. Once you arrive, you have to compete. The amateur tournament here gathers about 10 teams, full of fiery spirit. The field isn't as grand as a national stadium. No seats, no stands. But in return, the view is so beautiful you forget the way back. The match takes place amidst a sky draped with clouds. The sun rising from the mountain range, creating a space like in a fairy tale. The only difference is, here people don't ride dragons, they just play football. Many of you hearing this might exclaim, "Huh, is it dangerous? Playing football on a volcano, what if it erupts?" Here's the answer to reassure you. Mount Tiotihuacan has been inactive for a long time, so the locals feel safe building a football field right on the summit. Even so, the feeling of playing football on a volcano's crater still brings a very special emotion, partly due to the unique terrain, partly because the air at that altitude is thinner, making every run, every shot demand high endurance and technique. Wyatt. It's a symbol of sporting spirit. Defying terrain, defying conditions. With just passion, people turn the impossible into possible. Who would have thought, amidst such majestic nature, humans could create a playground both rustic and magnificent like this? Perhaps that's why every weekend, regardless of sun or mist, footsteps steadily head up the mountain, carrying a ball and a never-give-up spirit. What do you think? Would you dare try playing football in the clouds once? Add this place to your bucket list. Crater ISN. But a life experience unlike any other on this planet. Have you ever imagined a dance, graceful and soft, performed right on horseback? Not in a martial arts or historical film, but in the heart of Mexico, where there's a unique art called charreria. It might sound like a regular equestrian sport, but actually charreria is a whole world rich in culture, where horse riding skills blend with flexibility, dexterity, and traditions deeply rooted in Mexican blood. Initially, charreria was only for vaqueros, cattle herders dating back to the 16th century. Those authentic cowboys back then not only rode horses skillfully but also knew how to use ropes, catch cattle, and control horses with masterful moves. By 1919, this discipline was formalized with rules and official competitions. And since then, charreria has become not just a survival skill but a national pride, organized into tournaments with clear and structured regulations. Interestingly, since 1950, women have also started participating in charreria. But they don't ride horses with the same daring style as the men. Instead, they incorporate a real dance performance on horseback. They not only control the horses, making them follow the correct rhythm and direction, but also perform a series of uniform movements, swaying to the background music like a living dance. Just imagine 8 girls wearing multi-layered spinning skirts with long, fluttering heads adorned with wide-brimmed traditional Mexican hats, riding horses around the arena, gliding past each other like the wind, sometimes forming lines, other times spinning as if painting a moving picture right on the ground. The cheating that is not simple at all. These female riders often start getting acquainted with horses from a very young age, sometimes climbing onto a horse's back as soon as they learn to walk. They not only learn how to maintain balance but also must feel the rhythm of a horse's steps, controlling both speed and emotion so that each step is not only technically correct but also in sync with the music. Of course, practicing alone is not enough. They also have to practice in groups of 8 people, 8 horses, 8 flaring skirts like blooming petals in the desert. Every movement must be perfectly coordinated. A single small mistake can throw the entire formation into chaos like a slider's land. Today, to keep the flame of this art alive, people no longer rely solely on family traditions.
More schools teaching churreria for women have emerged, where young girls learn not only how to ride horses but also how to choose and adorn costumes, coordinating skirt and blouse colors with accessories to match the traditional style. That's not merely a sport or performance, churreria, especially the women. This is not just the dance of Mexican girls but also a message to the whole world that
if traditions are preserved and infused with soul, they can live forever, burning brightly like a flame in a scorching desert.
Next time, if someone asks you what women ride horses for, remember to tell them about the dances in the saddle where every spin is enough to make the entire audience stand up and applaud in admiration. Confiding with the dead. On New Year's Eve, when people around the world are joyfully welcoming the new year, in a distant place on the other side of the hemisphere, in Mexico,
people quietly set up an altar, light candles, and pour a glass of wine not for ordinary guests but to invite special guests, their departed loved ones.
Hearing this, many might shudder and say, "How eerie, how can you invite those who have passed away?" But don't judge hastily, as this is one of the oldest and most sacred beliefs of the Mexican people. A cultural trait that is both mysterious and heart-wrenchingly moving. In this country, death is not an end but rather a continuation of life. People believe that although their loved ones have left the mortal world, their souls still linger somewhere, watching over and protecting their descendants. And with enough sincerity and love, you can still talk to them as if there had never been a separation. Just imagine, on the last night of the year, the whole family gathers together, the atmosphere both warm and sacred. They carefully arrange the altar, perhaps with the favorite dishes of the departed, or a few tiny mementos filled with memories.
Then everyone starts telling stories, sad stories, happy stories, stories about how they lived over the past year. As if the departed are sitting right there beside them, silently listening to every heartfelt word. Many families even leave an empty chair, set a glass of wine, or light a cigarette as a way to invite the souls of their loved ones to celebrate the new year together.
You see, for Mexicans, memories never die. They do not shy away from the pain of loss but choose to embrace it with love and respect. This tradition does not only occur in a few small families but has become part of the national culture.
It has been preserved through many generations, ingrained in consciousness like an unshakable belief.
Have you ever wished you could say one more loving word to someone who has passed away? Have you ever felt regret for not having had the chance to apologize? Mexicans do not let these things become eternal. They use New Year's Eve to reconnect. Even if it's just through whispers in the wind, a nod in the imagination, or a dream on a winter night, it is enough to lighten the heart. In truth, if you look closely, you'll see they are not really talking to the dead. They are talking to love, to memories, to what once meant everything in their lives. And in this way, they keep the departed alive in their hearts, not just for one night but forever. Don't hesitate to sit down once, close your eyes, and tell them how you. Who knows, somewhere, they might still be listening in the very unique way of the Mexicans.
New Year's Eve is approaching. The clock begins to tick the final countdown of the old year. If in Vietnam, we often wish each other a prosperous new year amidst the bustling sound of firecrackers. But in Mexico, people welcome the new year in a very unique way, a ritual that is delicious, strange, and incredibly fun.
It's eating 12 grapes in the first 12 seconds of the new year. Sounds strange? So, what's the story behind having to eat 12 grapes, and why exactly in the first 12 seconds? Let me tell you more about it.
In Mexico, New Year's Eve is not just a moment of transition between 2 years, but also a sacred moment for the whole family to gather and reminisce about the joys and sorrows of the past 365 days. As the clock hand slowly approaches the number 12, the whole family holds their breath in anticipation.
And right at the moment of the first 12 seconds, each chime is a grape, and each grape is a wish.
Mexicans believe that if you manage to eat all 12 grapes, each corresponding to a month of the year,
and if you manage to secretly make a wish while chewing, the new year will be complete, fulfilling all 12 things you desire. Think it.
Many people chew while coughing and choking, making wishes while laughing uncontrollably. The atmosphere is both humorous and cozy, making anyone who watches feel joyful.
That's not all. Eating grapes is just the appetizer. Single girls prepare an even more outrageous trick, wearing red underwear.
Yes, exactly, bright red underwear, red like New Year's firecrackers, with the vibrant belief that wearing it will bring a boyfriend next year.
It sounds amusing, but who knows? Deep connections sometimes need a bit of lucky red, right? And those who dream of traveling, going abroad, or working overseas aren't sitting idle either. They grab a suitcase and run around the house, as if heading to the airport. Outsiders might think someone has gone crazy, but it's actually a hopeful ritual with the belief that carrying this suitcase will summon distant journeys in the new year. So, Mexicans celebrate New Year's Eve not just with fireworks or blessing hugs, but with a feast of emotions blending dreams, faith, humor, and seemingly trivial actions,
yet filled with so many expectations.
I wonder if you believe in these things? Mexicans absolutely do.
And similarly, they welcome the new year not just with present joy,
but with a determined and colorful start, eating, laughing, hoping. That's what makes it New Year. Now, onto a common habit. Have you ever arranged to meet someone at 7 p.m., prepared meticulously, waited on time, and by 8:30 still no sign of them? Do you likely be called? Being late is just an everyday occurrence, folks. In the land of sombreros, lively mariachi music, and a vibrant, colorful culture. Impolite, it. To be precise, they have an unwritten rule. Never expect Mexicans to be on time if it's a casual or everyday appointment. How can you live like that? If everyone's late for dates, what if plans get messed up?
Well, that's exactly the interesting part.
Mexicans don't stress over time in a rigid, minute-by-minute way. They value atmosphere, comfort, and above all, meeting up.
On the contrary, it shows you right in a relaxed state of mind,
not rushed or pressured by time constraints.
Of course, don't misunderstand that Mexicans are late in every situation.
For work, important meetings, or formal ceremonies, they are very punctual.
But for parties, meeting friends, or casual coffee dates, being 15 minutes,
30 minutes, or even an hour late isn't a big deal. Everyone understands,
and no one blames anyone.
This habit might seem lazy or unprofessional to some cultures, but it actually stems from a quite reasonable story. In the past, Mexico faced a rather chaotic public transportation system.
Buses were slow, trains were scarce, and streets were perpetually congested.
People had to add extra buffer time wherever they went. Gradually, being late became part of the culture. So if you ever have the chance to visit or live in Mexico for a while, drop the habit of stressing over lateness. Instead of frowning at the clock, sit back, sip some coffee, chat a bit, Because they'll come eventually, just not as early as you think. And think about it, in a modern world that's always rushing, where everything has deadlines, timelines, and on-time demands.
So there's a place where people grant each other the right to live slower, more leisurely, which is also worth learning from, isn't it?
It's not always that arriving on time shows respect.
Sometimes understanding and accepting different rhythms of life is what's truly valuable, right?
So if it were you,
If you had an appointment with a Mexican friend, would you arrive on time or in true Mexican style?
please comment below and let me know. Izamal,
A radiant golden town in the heart of Mexico. Have you ever set foot in a place where just stepping out of the car?
you already feel like you've wandered into a classic film, golden from one end of the street to the other. It's not the sunlight,
But the entire town is painted yellow.
it sounds like a joke,
But the town of Izamal in Mexico is exactly such a place.
where every wall, every house, every street shines in a brilliant golden hue.
As if someone used a brush to adorn every nook and cranny with sunlight. Modestly located in the state of Yucatan, Izamal carries a very impressive nickname, the Golden City.
Do you think this is a flashy, glittering gold,
The kind of gold that just looking at it soothes your heart. That yellow is not just a coat of paint, but also a layer of memory, a layer of history, a layer of overlapping culture stretching back nearly 2,000 years.
since the ancient Maya laid the first foundations for this place?
And speaking of the Maya, one cannot help but admire the depth of their culture. They were masters of astronomy, architecture, and unbelievably magnificent structures.
In Izamal, you can still see the ruins of ancient temples, where sacred rituals of the past once took place. And then, when the Spanish arrived, they built churches, plazas, and all were also painted yellow for consistency.
Now, walking through Izamal is like getting lost between three cultural layers: Maya, Spanish, and modern Mexican. Hearing that, many of you might say, isn't such old dazzling?
But not at all.
On the contrary, a very consistency makes the town incredibly pleasant, harmonious, and poetic.
As radiant gold under the bright sun, at night,
It has something very strange, very nostalgic, that makes anyone passing by turn their head for another look.
What's more surprising is that despite its rare beauty, Izamal is rarely too crowded. There's no pushing or bustling. Tourists here are mainly those who love exploring indigenous culture.
Enjoy wandering every street corner, listening to fairy tales in everyday life.
And sitting sipping coffee under dream-like golden awnings. You see, in a world that's increasingly modern and similar,
There is still a place that keeps its own color, in a literal sense.
to tell a 1,000-year-old story that has never been forgotten. Izamal is not just a town, but a vivid painting of time. A golden gem lying quietly in the heart of Mexico. For those enchanted by old-world beauty to return to. If one day you want to escape the bustling world,
Want to find a place that is both peaceful, strangely beautiful, and rich in culture? Why not try stepping into Izamal once, where there is only one color, yellow, but it contains a whole treasure of history.
I bet this place is incredibly interesting. You see?
Mexico truly is a country that makes people unable to look away due to its majestic natural beauty.
And its unique, diverse culture. From radiant golden towns like Izamal to colorful traditional customs. Like eating 12 grapes on New Year's Eve or the habit of being late but still friendly. All create a vivid picture of the life and people here. Do you find these things interesting and want to explore more about Mexico? Or have you had any special experiences in this country? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts right in the comments section. If you enjoy cultural stories and fascinating unknown things, remember to like and subscribe to the Enigmatic Echoes channel. That way, we can explore the wonderful things around the world more deeply together. Thank you for joining me in today's video. See you in the next videos with more captivating stories.